Hudson and I just got here at the butcher shop. Our next batch of steers is ready for pickup. So we're gonna get these guys loaded up. We are gonna take some of it back to the house and unload it into the freezers, which will be for sale by the pound. We're having a lot of success with that, thankfully. We do offer bulk options as well, and we have a few of those that we're gonna deliver after that. And then we gotta take care of some issues at the farm with mainly the pigs. They are turning into be a bit of a menace to society, a menace to the farm. So we're gonna see if we can't do something to help us out there a little bit. All right, we're fixing to pull into the driveway here. The first order of business, one of our bulk buyers is out of town for the next few days. So we are gonna put their beef in our big freezer, leave it in the box. Our big freezer's pretty empty. We got a few of the larger cuts of roast and steaks in there, not a whole lot at all. I think there's some tallow in there. We're gonna get all that moved to our smaller freezer, and then we're gonna put their boxes in, and then we'll fill in the other half of the freezers with the steers that are staying with us to be for sale by the pound. We're gonna knock that out, and then we got a couple deliveries to make. Got the beef all in our freezer. Got that one bulk order in there as well. Still had plenty of room left over. The steers that we just picked up, they averaged 806 pounds of hanging weight. That is after they've been dispatched, the head removed, the bottom half of the legs removed, the hide removed, all of the insides removed. That gives you your hanging weight. They averaged 806 pounds across the board there, which is fantastic. The live weight was somewhere between 1,350 and 1,400 pounds, I believe, when we took them. So that's pretty good numbers, especially for animals that are they're grass raised and then finished on grain or corn for the last 90 days or so. There's also no growth implants or hormones added to them, so that's pretty good numbers there. We're on our way now to deliver our bulk orders, and then we got a couple things to take care of over at the farm.
Few moments later.
What are we doing, Huddy? What are we fixing to do?
By the forest.
No, with the cows.
With the cows.
We're gonna feed them?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we gonna feed them? Goodness, she's loud. All right, we're out here at the farm. We have a brand spanking new addition. Obviously, it's not new. This is a 500-pound creep feeder for the calves. As you can see, it's not in perfect shape, but it is in usable shape. We got this off of a farm down in Texas. A friend of ours, a friend of my dad, he came off of his farm. He got picked up in a windstorm down in Texas, and that's why it's all bent and stuff, but it's perfectly functional. And it's about 80% cheaper than anything else I could find, including stuff in worse condition than this. The lid opens up about like this. You can see they are out. They went through about 150 pounds of creep feed in less than 2 weeks, about 10 days. I have one bag. I didn't realize they were completely out. I'd have brought a few bags. That'll last them for a day or two anyway. Got some cake for the cows, cubes, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna start feeding them up in the corral. just to get them used to going in there when we do need to catch them for one reason or another. This is our mama. She's raising our best looking heifer calf, but she's got enough milk that she's letting 2 other calves nurse from her periodically. Here's our oldest cow. We call her Granny. She's actually raising a dandy of a heifer right there behind her. Not a whole lot going on out here, but this is a new addition, and I have not shown that here on the channel yet. So let's get some creep feed put in. Yeah, we hear you. And see what else we can get into. We still got to go over to the other property and get some hot wire put up around the pig pen and do a couple other things over there. See, that's the whole purpose of this. This is a creep feed specifically for calves, which explains the cage around it. The bars are significantly further apart here. The calves can walk through. And the feed I poured in right there at the top feeds down. And you can see a little covered tray right here that they can eat out of. You can see we got a couple calves in here feeding. The whole purpose of this creep feeder is to get them adjusted to eating grain, get their rumen adjusted. But for more puny calves like this little orphan bull I have, it gives them an extra source of protein because he's not able to nurse from his mom. I do have that other cow that sometimes will let him nurse, but this is where he gets a lot of his makeup for missing out on mama's milk. Well, I guess it wasn't perfect. You can see the baldy cow and her calf, the little white-faced bull, and then this black heifer, which I call Little Bit, which belongs to the cow, the black cow in the middle right there. They did not go in. I'm not surprised. But this is why I wanted to start feeding them there, so I can get everybody just routinely going in. Those other ones, like you saw in the clip, they had no issues. What you looking at, Hud?
I'm looking at the cows.
At the cows?
I'm super high up.
You're super high up? I guess if this pair right here behind me, they don't start going in here in the next couple of days, I might reconfigure those panels to include the water trough to where to get to water they have to go through, and see if that doesn't help. I don't want her to never go into the corral. I want to be able to catch her when I need to. I know she's historically been my standoff cow, so this doesn't surprise me, but I want to do what I have to do to get her used to going into that corral. And the more I can feed them, or if I have to include the water in there as well, they get used to having to go in there for that, the better it'll be. They'll get used to it, and then when I do need to catch them, they won't think anything of it from being just a normal old day. So now we're here with the pigs. You can see they kind of make a mess of things. our retaining wall to the alleyway, they knock the top layer bricks down pretty frequently. We have some cinder blocks that we use for steps down. They move them all over the place, as you can see. They're just messy. The goat panel that's right there, they've bent it up so they could go under. Not really done a whole lot here. They did not bend that one. That was this white steer when he was in the pen by himself. But I am that in there, and then I'm noticing a few spots like over there, they're starting to root. We're gonna run a hot wire to try and alleviate all that. There's some fresh rooting right there. Just trying to put a stop to that, or if they do it, keep it in the keep it in the middle instead of along the fence line. You can see under our gate to the sheep pen that they've been doing it there as well. Just to try and alleviate some of that. I will say I'm pretty impressed with the job they've done cleaning all this out. It looked a lot like that right there when I put them in. And they've got it back to this. Pretty impressive. We're gonna What are you doing?
I said into him.
Boys will be boys. Get our steps fixed for the 1000th time. I'm gonna put a few more hog panels in yet again on that panel, and then we're gonna hog nails into the panel. Hopefully try and keep that down some. Then we're gonna run a hot wire, see how this turns out. That's in the sir. Jasmine, don't touch it. Well, it's getting really dark now. We got it up. This is the Gallagher S20 solar charger. Very, very simple design. Put a ground rod in a few inches into the ground. I try and get closer to a foot. Mount your box somewhere where it can get sunlight. Clamp your cable to one to the wire, one to the ground. Turn it on. As long as you got a green light, you're good. I do have a tester that we can test and see and make sure it is working. I'm probably not going to do that tonight because it's time to get him at home and in bed. Very quick, easy setup. It's not my favorite. I would prefer to not have to do this, but these pigs are just causing trouble with the fencing at the base of all the fencing everywhere. So before it gets out of control, I tried putting, another weld wire panel up, wiring it tied, nailing it, everything. That didn't work. I've had some success with putting wood, screwing wood with 3-inch screws, but that's still starting to not work as great. So we're gonna do this hot wire and fingers crossed it'll work. The pigs are still trying to clean up supper. But then they'll start exploring and stuff. Meanwhile, we're gonna go get the other animals fed, and then we'll come back and hopefully one of these girls will test out that wire and we'll see that it works. Well, we got everybody fed, everybody watered. The pigs are still messing around. I did see one touch the wire. Sorry, I bit my tongue. She touched the wire, but I don't know if she got shocked or not. She didn't squeal or anything, and she gives just a real brief touch. And that solar charger, it's on a pulse, like a 1.5 second pulse, so it might not have shocked her in that short time she was touching it anyway. But as you can tell behind me, we are completely dark now. HUD man needs to get in the bed because we got to get up early for church. Appreciate y'all following along with us. Hopefully this will take care of the issue I'm having with the pigs and make that more efficient. Everything else is going well. Hopefully the cows, or that white-faced cow, adjust to eating in the pen. If not, we'll put the water in the pen as well, and kind of force it that way. If you hadn't already, please like and subscribe. We've had some good growth here recently. I want to keep that train moving. All you got to do is click the button, and it helps me out tremendously. It's free to you. We will see y'all in the next one.